Hello my friend and welcome back. My name is Hannah and today I have a tagged / topic video for you. I had mentioned a number of times that I wanted to do a how much I've spent in a year kind of video. And as I was kind of making this video, I felt that I would get off topic a lot in terms of like, how do I phrase this? I know exactly what I spent, and I've seen everything that I've spent, like Sephora, Ulta, all of that, and I added up all of that money and I found like my medium average of what I was spending in a month. And like, obviously I'm not making money off of YouTube and by any means. You can see the likes, you can see the views. So it's just, I wanted a bit more structure to that video because I think it's an important video to make, especially if you're someone who watches a lot of YouTube the way I do, or maybe you're someone who wants to start making this kind of content. So I don't know, I was looking for different ways of how to make this video and maybe kind of see if there were other people kind of making similar topics. I did run into a few different like minimalistic channels and like a few different people explaining no buy, low buy kind of mentalities. And then I found the beauty consumer tag. And I think it's a pretty decent tag. It's 13 questions and it kind of covers all of the points that I personally wanted to make in my video. I've tried filming this like a number of times. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. It's a fairly old tag, I think. It's popular in that like I've seen people do it in the past few years, but I think the tag originally like came out 2018, 2019. I say that as if it's old, but I mean we're in 2022 right now, and like 2019 feels like a million years ago. So I digress. If you're interested about anything that I'm wearing on my face today, I always have links down below as well as the questions that I'm using. I can link some of the videos, like tagged videos that I had watched of people who were doing this. And these are people that I personally watch on YouTube consistently kind of making this content. So it was kind of interesting to see their perspective on this whole process. I am sort of eating my lunch right now as I'm filming. Please be nice. I have to eat, but I also need to film, and I don't know, this is like my last day of work or vacation before going back to work. But even then, I think I'm supposed to be at work right now, but no one's called me, so I tried to call out last night and it said like, oh, you can't call out because it's not a work day. But I sort of like a stalker drove by the location and everybody's cars are there, and I'm like, what the hell is going on? So let's talk about how much money I've spent in a year on makeup, and let's get into the tag because 2022, here we are. Okay, so the first question is, how much money do you spend on makeup a month, a year? Like I said, I kind of counted my average, and I would say comfortably my average is about like 100, 150 per month. Kind of thing. There are obviously some months where I've spent way more than that, and some months where I've spent less than that. It's just the average, and I'm going from all of 2021. So since I started making beauty content, it's been a year, so I'm just going based off of that. Obviously, there are some releases, right, where it's like my Pat McGrath purchase that I made. Obviously, that palette was like $65, and I think I bought a few other things. So that one might be a little bit more towards the like $150 kind of area, but I'd say comfortably between $100 to $150 a month. Now, if you do the math, and that's kind of the average that I'm spending each month, and there's 12 months in a year, I don't know, that's like a car pay. That's like buying a whole car, like cold hard cash. I think, you know, that's just a lot of money. And even saying that, like I bought, that's just a lot of money. And even saying that I spent 100 and 150 per month on makeup, I have a lot of other hobbies and activities. I buy anime figures. Anime figures, for one, is like $150 to like $200. You know what I mean? Like, maybe you don't, but they are. And then you want to buy the acrylic figures and the little mini figures and the pillows and all of this and all of that. And I mean, I have a few orders coming in because I have pre-ordered a lot, and I know this isn't makeup, but when I think about the money that I have and the money that I'm getting, and mind you, I was unemployed until August of 2021. I'm just like, I'm in shock. I'm a little embarrassed, but I mean, hey, it's better to be honest and put this out there than not, and then just lie and say like, it is what it is. But I don't know. I really, you shouldn't be spending like $100 in like 1 month or every few months, you know, kind of thing. Like I could feel a bit more comfortable with that. But when I look at that being my average and just makeup alone, it makes my stomach hurt. Do you ever feel guilty about how much you spend on makeup? So, yes and no. I feel good about the things that I have because I know that I use them and I don't have a lot of excess. I mean, I have my inventory videos up if you're interested to see what's even in my collection. And I think as far as like my items go, I don't have too many of one kind of thing. Like, and if I do have, what am I trying to say? If I do have like multiple items of a type of product, these are items that I'm reaching for. Maybe they're in like a different color family, except for my lip products. I know. But like when I look at my bronzers, I have like 3 bronzers that I really love. And then I have like maybe some on the side that like are just nice. Like how do I phrase this? I have like my Marc Jacobs bronzers, but I purchased those from TJ Maxx. So like I'm not against making purchases at TJ Maxx, especially if you can save your money that way. Obviously, look at what you're purchasing. You can tell if something's been opened and like ripped to shreds. But I mean, my TJ Maxx, like my Marc Jacobs thing was in like one of those plastic containers and they had to unlock it at the register. So maybe yours is also the same way. Maybe it's not. Just be careful when you're purchasing those kind of things. But you can save money. So I have those things. But I do have like a number of items in a category, and like I said, going through my collection, there is a little bit of excess here and there, like a little bit of fat I could chop off, but I mean, realistically, I'm not someone that doesn't have any fat on my own body, and I'm not like super ripped, so I wouldn't expect my collections to be the same way. Like, at least it's not excess. I don't have like a Nikocado collection, you know? Like, I don't just have like a bunch of crap. I feel confident saying that. But I do feel guilty looking at like confronting myself with the amount of money that I've spent each month on these kind of things. That is a little overwhelming, especially because some of the things that I bought like the day that it dropped, and they haven't sold out and they're still available. And like, I say this about the Marc Jacobs collection, but I mean, that cafe collection ended up at the stupid TJ Maxx and not so long after. And they weren't even that great of a product. And I could have just picked it up at the TJ Maxx, but I bought it at Sephora the day that I dropped. Like a madman. So, there's that. Question 3. Do you get FOMO related to makeup releases? And I had to think about this one because sometimes I feel like I do, but like sitting here, there's not an item that I can think of right now, and this is what makes me believe that like then that item was never supposed to be in my possession anyway. There's nothing that I can think of that I'm like, oh, I'm so like sad I don't have it. Like maybe in the moment, like the icy palettes, I was really excited to get those, you know, and I thought that would be really fun. But I mean, realistically, do I need a blue monochromatic palette? Maybe it would round out my collection, but what kind of makeup am I currently doing and what kind of content am I making? Like, I'm in a weird spot of trying to figure out like me while making content, but also being inspired by other YouTubers who make content. So just finding my voice. Do I need a blue monochromatic palette? The answer is no, and I don't have it, and I don't think it's going anywhere. If I decide that I want it, I could pick it up. The red monochromatic palette seems a bit more interesting, but honestly, I already have a red monochromatic palette. Sure, it leans a little bit more pink, but I have reds and other palettes and things like that, and realistically, how often am I kind of reaching for those shades? So I don't think I have FOMO in that sense. I'm also trying to think of I can't even remember something that may have sold out that I couldn't get my hands on, that I don't have. I say this about the Kaleidos Deep Sea Luster palette, but that's a special kind of item, but it's not like I don't have Kaleidos products, and I think in a way Kaleidos is kind of rebuilding that palette amongst their small, you know what I mean? So it's I'm not oh wow, I really need it, because I see people post it on Poshmark and Mercari and things like that for $400, but I don't think I have FOMO because I'm not oh, let me spend $400 on this Deep Sea Luster palette. I don't know, even I took a chance on the Club Nebula palette, but when I went to go and purchase that palette, it was because I wanted to support Angie and how she kind of inspired me to start creating content. And so if I got this palette, then I got this palette and I would be excited, but I don't think I'm someone that gets FOMO over missing out on something. I get more FOMO missing out on an anime figure or a poster or a limited edition, that kind of thing. I don't get FOMO about consumable items or items with a shelf life, because eventually even if I did get it, the clock is ticking as soon as I open it, so I don't feel bad. And I think with the way that beauty and fashion works, trends come and go, and they'll come right back. And if you don't get it from one brand, there's gonna be a color pop version of it, you know what I mean? So I don't think I have FOMO. I think I can say that confidently. Question number 4. This is question number 4. Do you purchase or keep items simply because they are limited edition? Yes and no. When I purchase something that is limited edition, it's because I wanted it. So I knew that this Angie Club Nebula Kaleidos palette was going to be limited edition, because from the very beginning of her video announcing the product, she kind of already let us know. But I'm holding on to my Club Nebula palette because I love it. I enjoy it. I think it's wonderful. I think it's great. My Kaleidos Futurism 1 is at the sci-fi green one. I always call it 2 or the wrong number, but the green one, you can't get your hands on it anymore, but I'm holding on to it because I personally love that palette. And same with my Melt Gemini palette. It's the same kind of color story as that Kaleidos one, but I enjoy that palette. I love that palette. I mean, I can find swampy greens, what's the indie brand that just, is it Ace Beauté has that Tropics palette with all those swampy greens and yellows and things like that. I could always pick that one up, you know what I mean? But I'm happy with the things that I have, so I don't go out of my way to purchase limited edition items, and that doesn't really weigh so much on me when I'm going through and decluttering my items. It's just, that's what it is. That's just what I have. So I don't know, I'm not, how do I phrase this? I don't hold on to something because it's limited edition. I hold on to it because I think I'm going to use it, or it's something that I really love. Question number 5, would you be willing to pay more money for a sold out product online? I have maybe done this. Maybe. Kaleidos had those liquid lip tint, the liquid lip, or the liquid lipsticks, excuse me. And some of the shades that I wanted were sold out and they had restocked, and then I was dumb and just didn't pick them up, and then they sold out again. And I saw someone selling the 2 shades I was looking for specifically, and I think the bundle was like $40. I think individually the lip products were maybe like, I don't know, were they $16? Were they like $15? I don't know. Like, obviously this person was just, trying to make a little bit on the cut of it, but that's probably also to cover like shipping and things like that. But anyway, I didn't purchase them, but I mean, like, I considered it. I thought about it. I know I just said, like, I'm not going to spend the $400 on a Deep Sea Luster palette, but I don't believe I would. Maybe something like ColourPop, because ColourPop is pretty affordable. I don't know, I'm trying to think, did I spend more for the Hades highlight? No, I think she just charged me what ColourPop would have charged her. Don't know. But I really think it just depends on how much more they're asking for. So, like with the Clay-Doh lip thing, that didn't bother me, that it was just a little bit more when you add the 2 items together. Like, I get it. I think what bothers me is when you see something like the Club Nebula palette or the Deep Sea Luster palette being sold for $400+ kind of thing. Like, even $100 more. Like, that Club Nebula palette, I think was like $40. I can't, like, $40 to $50 maybe. If that, like, it wasn't that crazy expensive, so I don't know why. And I don't know, I get it because it's like limited edition and you want to get your hands on it. Like, I get it, but things like that, I wouldn't spend that kind of money on. I wouldn't. I would probably spend that kind of money on a anime product. Question number 6, do you wish you could spend more or less? If I could spend more, I think my channel would pop off, because then I can talk about all the new releases that I could potentially want to. But I'm also not someone that wants to have a huge excess collection. And this is nothing against people who have, the drawers and drawers of makeup, but I personally don't want to be someone that has like 7 IKEA Alexes filled to the brim of makeup that I've touched for one video and then never touched again. I want to have a collection like I do because I love the items that I have in there. And it's easier for me to use. And I know, like, even the amount of makeup that I have now, realistically, the average person isn't going to get through that. Like, it's too much. And I will reference these videos again and again, and I'll have them linked down below. But I have my inventory, like, I go over exactly what's in my collection. And I would love to get to a point where I got PR and I could review these things and, like, I could spend the money on all the Pat McGrath releases and all the Natasha Denona and all of the Charlotte Tilbury, but I'm just not there. I'm just not, and that's nothing to be sad about, so I'm okay. I'm okay with where I am. I wish currently for this year I want to spend less. After seeing what I spent last year, I would like to spend less on this year on makeup, if that makes sense. Question number 7, do you feel compelled to buy something when you see it in someone else's collection? Yes and no. So I watch a lot of content on YouTube across the board. Because my day job is just doing like office simulator, I have time to watch a lot of content while I'm working. And a lot of the time I am watching podcasts, but like I'll watch beauty videos and things like that. And it's always fun to see what the community is doing. And being engaged in the community is the fun part about making content and talking about different content, different products, different things, and I love when you see one channel reference another channel or like suggest them to you. And so like it makes me feel comfortable to say things like, hey, go watch Angie's channel or go watch Nikki Raven or Samantha March, because those are 3 content creators that I trust their opinion when they talk about stuff. I think they're very honest in their critiques, and I enjoy their makeup aesthetic, even if it's not always exactly my own. You know, I think I fall like at a combination of between the 3. But how do I phrase this? So I'll see things in Angie's collection or in Nikki's collection or in Samantha's collection, and I'll say, oh my gosh, I know that we love a majority of the same products, and if they really, really love this, then maybe I will also really, really love it if it's an item that has like a little ping for me. Like the Lisa Eldridge foundation, Nikki really, really loves it, so I really, really have my eye on it. But Charlotte Tilbury is also releasing a new skin tint in the next few days. And I know Samantha and Angie also really love Charlotte Tilbury, and the things that they've loved from Charlotte Tilbury are the same things that I've loved, so I take their advice. So it's just things like that. Both of these base found like products are fairly expensive. Like Lisa Eldridge is at least $60. And I don't know how much the Natasha or the Charlotte Tilbury one's gonna be, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was like $40, $50. So I don't know. It's things like that, but I don't just watch YouTube and see like, oh, so-and-so has it in their collection, like I also have to have it. It has to be something that caught my eye, that I'm interested in, and the people that I trust are talking about it, where I'm like, makes me want it a little bit more. Question number 8, do you buy more during the holidays? I think I've done a good job buying less. I feel like I bought more at the beginning of 2021. I don't know, it's hard to really kind of do the math for that, because I know early to 2021, I was always in my Marshalls TJ Maxx buying makeup. Like a lot. Like I was spending like $70 and I'd go there multiple times in a week kind of thing. And then I started like making actual orders again at Ulta and Sephora, like later on in that springtime. And then I had purchased a lot of things from Kaleidos. So I don't know, I feel like I bought more at the beginning of the year, but that once holidays kind of came around, I didn't really buy that much. Like I just did my, what's it called? My monthly haul video that came out earlier this week. And it seemed like it was a lot of items, but I bought one mystery box and like 2 or 3 little like things on the side. So I'm pretty confident in that. So I'm pretty confident that I can say I spent less during the holiday season. And I think at that point too, I think I noticed it this year, especially because I was documenting myself during most of the holiday season. When the holiday season comes around, I have the opposite feeling in my heart that I think a majority of people have, where they're excited about it. I'm not. And I think when it comes to trends of like capitalism and greed and just mindless spending, it makes me want to spend even less, no matter if it was my favorite brand dropping something, like, or all of my favorite brands dropping something. I think I would just wait and hold out. So I don't know. I think I just have a type of feeling, or I don't know, I guess I just feel a type of way about the holidays. Question 9, have you ever hidden a makeup purchase from family or friends? No. My partner and I, it has been brought up in a few different like tiffs that we have. Or have had. I was unemployed and they were working, they really got into their car hobby, and at the same time that I really got into makeup. And, you know, we would have like different Amazon deliveries and things like that. And I mean, it makes sense when like you're making money, you can spend money, but someone like me who wasn't really making money and I was spending money. But at that point, I wasn't spending money at Sephora like that. I was going to like TJ Maxx and purchasing makeup and using what I had and trying to build my collection. But not once did I ever hide anything, and I'm always very honest about it. And even when I get like packages of things coming in, and then I'll feel kind of guilty about it. You know, my partner always says like, I don't care what you spend your money on. I just hope that you're being responsible, and I trust that you're being responsible. So I think look, you got to be honest with yourself and you got to be honest with your partner. And I trust that my partner would put me in check if things just didn't add up. If it seemed like it was getting to be a problem. Because I would also do that for my partner. But I think we're both very responsible in that way. Like, I don't know, we're very much homebodies and we don't really travel. So I guess we kind of have a little bit more money to spend on things because we're not really traveling and doing stuff like that. Like, we are both very like hobby oriented people. But, you know, you gotta make sure that your bills are paid and that your needs are met first before you spend it on the fun stuff. Question 10. Do you have more than 10 products in your collection that you have not used in over a month? If I look at my entire collection, if that's what this question means, yes. If I look at items in individual categories, I don't think so. Maybe lips, because I have a lot of lip products. But if I only have like 3 mascaras. I have 4 concealers. I have like 4 bronzers. I have a few blushes, but I kind of put my blushes on rotation. Maybe eyeshadow palettes, definitely for sure, because there have been some eyeshadow palettes. Like, obviously, I haven't reached into a lot of my eyeshadow palettes because I have so many. But I feel comfortable in that, like, I do use my products and I don't just, like, stack things up. And I think I'm very proud of myself for that. Because I love looking at makeup and I love looking for something new. But as far as, like, foundations go, like I said, I'm looking for something that's a little bit more coverage than my skin tint from Fenty. But I love my skin tint from Fenty. When I run out of that, I already know I'm going to repurchase it. Like, that is a staple holy grail in my collection. And I don't really need... Other brands can drop skin tints and I'd be like, that's wonderful and that's lovely, but am I really truly interested? Is it going to perform better than this Fenty Ease Drop? Because I love it. I love the way that it looks on my skin. I love it in a casual setting. I love it in a more done up kind of setting. So why do I need something else? I'm happy with the concealers that I have. The blushes that I have are very fun. That's probably, like, lips and blushes, I think, are kind of like an issue because there's so many fun different colors, and then you end up looking at it and you have a lot of the same colors, but sometimes they're the same color in different formulas. Not that that makes any excuse, but you know what I mean? I don't know. So I'm proud of what I have and that I don't have a lot of things in excess. Question 11, have you ever been pressured to purchase something you could not afford or did not need? Yes and no. I think there are things like when Nabla releases something, I want to purchase it right away and review it and get it out there. But if I'm being honest, out of the last few Nabla purchases that I've made, I like the skin tint the most, but it's not the best. It's like okay. I like it in the summertime. The concealer's all right. Like, you know, I'm not mad at that, but like The 2 reasons, I still can't quite figure that one out, and I bought 2 of them. But I don't know if that was me, but just putting pressure on me. I don't know. I don't ever really feel pressured to buy anything. I just see something and I want to have it and I want to make a cool video for it. And I want to wear it to work and I want to wear it out in my personal life, and just it's something that I want to have, something that I want to use. And so there might be a little bit of pressure for myself to purchase these things, and maybe that's why I'm reaching spending like $100 a month on makeup. But I don't have to. I don't, if I'm being honest. But I never bought anything that I couldn't afford. So I always spend within my limits. Like, all my bills are always paid. There might have been like one Sephora purchase that I put on a credit card, but I think even then it was just because I had no standing balance on that credit card. And I think that particular credit card, if I don't use it in a month, I get like a fee or something. And I just pay it off right away. Question 12. Do you purchase makeup for collector reasons? Not really. Like, if ColourPop ever did a Naruto collab, I would buy the entire PR box. No thoughts about it. Even if the lip products were the like Fresh Kiss and there was only pressed glitters and it was just absolutely like all of the products that I don't like in this Naruto collection, I would buy it because I love Naruto. Like, I'm even wearing a Naruto shirt today. I love Naruto. So it has to be something like that. It has to be, and when I say something like that, like it's Naruto, it's a Berserk, it's Yu Yu Hakusho. It's not like, I feel like Sailor Moon, there's always tons of collabs, and if I'm being honest, I was never someone that was super Sailor Moon. Like, my magical girl was Cardcaptor Sakura, and even then I was still watching like Dragon Ball Z and Yu Yu Hakusho and all the like Gundam Wing. Like, I had no business watching Gundam Wing in elementary school, but here I am. Here I am watching Gundam Wing in elementary school. So those are the kind of stories that I like. Like, oh god, if they ever did like a Gundam. Will ColourPop ever do an anime collab? I don't know. Or maybe. I'm hoping that makeup brands see how popular anime is and they want to do that. But that would be the only time that I would, or like, oh my god, ColourPop and Evangelion? Or did they miss that? They could still do it. Anyway, no. ColourPop did release the Animal Crossing, but maybe I just don't love Animal Crossing as much as I think that I do. But okay, look. For Animal Crossing especially too, I have like the Kuji Isabel alarm clock. I have the Brewster coffee set. I have the 3DS that has like the Isabel skin on it. So I'm not, maybe I just have cooler Animal Crossing things than the makeup. But no, I don't just purchase them to collect them. I'm not like a completionist, if you will. Of all the Klaidos items that I have them because I wanted them. Do I want the Futurism 2, the like red like neutral palette? Yes, but that's because I want to get my hands on that red shade and the other neutrals in there. Perfect example, I got the So Very Lovely and the Plush Like Me collections from ColourPop, but I didn't purchase the entire collection. I just saw the items that I wanted from those collections and I picked them up. I think I'm very good about not needing to be a completionist. I think I'm pretty good about not needing to be a completionist and have every single item, because I want to have the items that make me happy. And if I am going to get an entire collection, like I said, it would have to be something Naruto. It would have to be. And I say this because I have every dumb, stupid Naruto thing ever. I have a coffee cup. I have I have an iced coffee cup, like a little tumbler. I'm just trying to think of all the dumb, stupid stuff. Like, I have stupid socks. I have like notepads, like pens, and like, I'm not gonna make a video on my Naruto collection, but I have a lot of it. I have a lot, so it's like that would have to be the thing that makes me go, oh, I'm gonna buy the entire set. Or like Berserk. If they ever made a Berserk anything, I'm purchasing it. The last question 13. In your makeup journey, have you become less or more consumeristic? This is a hard question only because, and I've said this time and time again, but if you're new here, I was really into makeup from 2010 to 2014, specifically. 2016. So 2010 to 2016, super into makeup. I remember when the Too Faced Born This Way foundation dropped, and I went right into my Ulta to go pick it up. When they had the Unicorn Tears lipstick and the Ursula lipstick, like those bullet lipsticks that like went super viral, I was one of the first people to pick them up in my store before anybody even knew what the hell they were. And I held on to those until, God, 2018. They were so old. Anyway, and I just purchased things, and I'm happy with where my makeup skill is now. Like, I look at my face right now and I think this is really cute. I'm very happy with how this turned out, and I'm confident that I know how to use the Natasha Denona eyeshadow palette. What was the issue back then was I didn't know how to use makeup, and there's this huge following on YouTube, and I used to only watch makeup content on YouTube. It was only makeup content. I remember when Jaclyn Hill was on the rise. Like, I remember watching that. And by the time I left the makeup community, it was because I was working in a position where I was a lifeguard. Why are you wearing makeup as a lifeguard if you're going to jump in that pool? You know, when you're going to be out in the sun all day and you're going to melt. But what's actually the point? Why am I buying a Dior mascara and Dior lipstick to have it wash off in the pool? And I remember, because they have these things called audits, where you're on stand as a lifeguard, and they audit you. So they'll drop a fake shadow and you have to jump in, or they'll do a scenario where you have to start, you know, how would you do CPR on this person? And it's just to test you, and it happens once a month randomly, you know. And I remember one time they got me, and it was my last stand of the day, and I had to walk home. I didn't have a car. I had to walk home. And I had my shoes on stand. You can take your shoes off so when you jump in you don't have wet sneakers, because drying sneakers. It's not like that we had a dryer, we could just throw our shoes in. So I had to walk home in these wet New Balance sneakers. And I remember this so vividly because I wore my Dior mascara, and when I pulled that shadow up, I, like, crying, was just like, I'm wearing Dior, how dare you? And that's what I said. And to this day, I laugh about it, and I hope the person who audited me also remembers that, because it was kind of funny. But, you know, like, what's the point in wearing makeup at that time? And I saw how expensive it was getting, and 2016 was like the rise of Jeffree Star and Manny MUA and all of that. And we all know what happened with like Dramageddon and whatever. And I was getting interested in other things because I found my people who make gaming content, who make anime content, who make just the things that I wanted to watch. Nothing against people who make makeup, nothing against me because I make makeup videos, but there was just more to it, and I felt like it was getting very like, everything was a trend, everything was repetitive, everybody looked the same, everybody needed to do the same looks. If Jeffree Star did it, 20 other people, that's what you had to do. Everybody was like, oh, if Tati said to buy this, you have to buy it. And to me, that kind of mentality really pushes me away from a community, from a group of people, from even an individual, because that's not... I'm all for people enjoying the things that they enjoy. So if you enjoy Tati and you enjoy Jaclyn Hill and you enjoy Jeffree Star, by all means, enjoy them. Have fun with that. Don't let me take that away from you. But I think there's a point where you can tell where they're just following a trend, and then they put these people on pedestals, in which we've seen, you know. Jaclyn Hill's got some demons, Jeffree Star has some demons, Tati has some demons, and I'm not saying that you have to be perfect to make content or for people to like you, because you definitely don't. It's just, like, where are they now in comparison to that? And then, like, I think of, like, because I saw videos of people decluttering their entire Jeffree Star collection because they were so mad at him. And when I think about that, it's like, you've already given this man your money, and if you enjoyed those products, use them. If you're not enjoying them, pass them along. But then if you're not enjoying them, why did you buy so much? You know what I mean? And that for me is that for me is what I think consumer, like, capitalism mentalities kind of come in. Because why do you need 40 different hand mirrors? Like, I get it. Like, I have my one and I love it to death. But maybe if they came out, like, if I saw a little hand mirror that had Naruto on it, I would probably also pick that up. You know what I mean? Like, do I need it? No, but is it Naruto and a little bit different from what I have? Sure. And I say this as someone who's making content, and I know I kind of called myself out on this because I said that, you know, like, my content feels very generic. Like, I make makeup videos and I'm trying to put more of my personality into these videos. And my personality is just to be me. And so right now I'm enjoying doing similar makeup looks to Angie and Samantha March and, you know, Nikki Raven and these very wonderful, beautiful people. But that's what I'm enjoying right now. Who's to say that I won't go back into, you know, just... Well, I don't really know what my makeup trend was before that. It was just very simplistic kind of makeup, like mascara and a lip product. I'm enjoying this process that I'm in right now of exploring makeup options and building my makeup skill, and seeing what I can do with that. And I want to incorporate some of my cosplay makeup skills into my makeup, but I don't want to just like sit here and contour for like 6 hours, because that's what ends up happening when I cosplay. But just different things. I don't know. So I think I've become less, but asterisk to that. But asterisk to that, where I see things like Pat McGrath and Charlotte Tilbury as something that I want to get my hands on, that I do want to play with. So maybe in that aspect, I've become more consumeristic, but I'm okay with what I have, and I'm okay with being interested in what I'm interested in, and I don't want that to be... I don't want to come off as someone that's easily manipulated or like shifted in my thoughts and opinions because someone else feels a different way. And that's it. So I don't know. I think that kind of sums up everything. I feel like this is going to be a long video, and I'm sorry. But I don't know. If you're someone that's watching my content and you also want to make content, it's easy to do. You just have to start doing it. But you have to want to do it because you want to make content. Because you're gonna get yourself in a lot of financial trouble if you're trying to buy your way into fame. Because it just doesn't work like that. Unless you're someone that has like, if you're a trust fund baby and you're watching my videos, wow, flattered. And you can spend money like that, go for it. Go for it, please. Let's help redistribute the wealth a little bit. But if you're not, and you're like me, and you're just a little peasant in your little Witcher village, you don't have to spend money like that. If you want to spend $60 on a Pat McGrath palette and make a video on it, and you have the means to do so, by all means, do so. But if you don't have the money to do it and you're not interested in Pat McGrath, don't. Like, who cares? Because I think at this point now, with how saturated the beauty community is and how easy free advertisement is, especially for me, I'm watching the makeup content from people that I'm interested in, that even when they talk about things outside of makeup, like, it's still interesting and funny because I enjoy their character. So I don't know. I think the people that are going to continue to watch you are the people that like you. Not so much the things that you're talking about. Maybe they have a similar interest in products, whatever that may be, but you don't have to push yourself to buy things. If I can give you any message with that. And I hope that this year I can be more wise about spending less, and I'm going to really try to hold myself to it. I really want to document that process and just see whatever shifts and changes happen on my channel. But that's it for today's video. I will see you in tomorrow's video. I believe that will be the new makeup releases, and I'll see you then. Bye.